Good morning, ma'am, and I am Prince Naman Okanya Labamba from Teacher Education Program from the section of TE11, and we are from the Muslim Arts Group. And what is Muslim Arts? Muslim art is all about the indigenous textile or the kind of culture that they totally have. As we discover all about the Muslim arts, and this topic is so wonderful during in our culture in our country because Muslim art is a very wonderful topic can be discussed or to elaborate how we encounter the culture of the Muslims here in our country, not just here in our country and also in the other countries as well in the entire world, just like India, because Muslim has wonderful creativity on their kind of art that they are presenting to us, and that's why we should able to know and to understand what is their kind of arts into their kind of way in presenting to our culture here in the Philippines. Throughout the lesson, you should be able to discuss the concept of ukri and ukil in relation to Muslim art. Identify the types of ukri, ukil, how sensitivity and support of Muslim art works through an own art sketch of such art and create a symmetry art inspired by Okri and Okil because they want to inspire other Muslim people on their kind of artwork to their relationship as being a Muslim and how sensitivity and support their kind of culture in having their kind of art through an own art sketch such as art. Art has totally wonderful meaning that we can able to discuss, and also they have a wonderful and they totally created a wonderful symmetry art so that other people or other Muslim people can inspired by their artwork by Okri and Okil. This is an overview or a slight overview from the topic that we will gonna discuss through this kind of topic in the Muslim arts. And now we're gonna discuss the first topic of the Muslim arts, which is the Islamic art in the Philippines. Do you know what is Islamic arts in the Philippines? And now we're gonna discuss it by presenting this kind of video so that you can able to mesmerize and to have a wonderful learning that we gonna brought during our discussion all about the Muslim arts. And now our first topic in our Muslim art is the Islam. We already know what is Islam already from the topic. And it's also related from our theology topic as well, from arts. That's why we're gonna tackle Islam. It's a religion that has long been established since the early AD 600, paved way for the development of its own unique style of art. That's mean arts can be included in religion, established long time ago by the Roman people during the time of or before time of Jesus Christ. That's why they totally created or they totally created or pushed through in developing the unique kinds of arts during the Islam because Islam people has totally unique creativity in making arts. That's why we should able to understand the Islam people on how they able to create on this kind of art, and this will give us an overview or a learning as we dive into the world of arts in different countries, but we must stick in our report in Islam. Islamic art places emphasis on creating an art form that is built on the beauty and the respect for the teaching of Islam. And Islamic art is characterized by designs of flowers, plant forms, and geometric design. It is used in calligraphy, architecture, painting, clothing, and other forms of fine art. As Islam spread around the world, this distinct form of art has become an integral part of the identity of its followers, including the Philippines. Because Islamic has totally gained so much their kind of art, and they totally characterize the kind of design, which is flowers, plants, form, and geometric design. And it is used in using calligraphy or in architecture or in painting, also in the clothing that we totally see, just like the malong, or here in the Philippines we call it as a malong. Look at the designs of the malong. That is an Islamic design. It is totally connected to the culture of the Islam people or the Muslim people that we totally like on their designs as they sell on the market. That's why the Islamic people has totally gained so much in our country, not just in the entire world, also in our country as well, because Islamic people has totally gained so much on its culture, on its value. That's why we should able to appreciate this kind of culture as we present this topic. And our second topic from the Muslim arts, which is the development of Islamic art in the Philippines. In the 13th century, traders and missionaries have introduced the religion of Islam in the Philippines. Islamic art meshed with the ethnic culture and produced a Filipino Muslim art that reflects the ethnic background of Islamic identity of the people. During the Spanish colonization and American occupation, Islam has been concentrated mostly in the South, but this did not halt the flourishing of Islamic art. During the 13th century, there are traders and missionaries that have introduced all about the religion of Muslim or the Islamic people in our country. And they finally introduced the Islamic art together with the ethnic culture and produced from a Filipino Muslim art that can totally reflect the ethnic background and also in the Islamic identity of the people. And also during the Spanish colonization and American occupation, Islam has totally developed during that time of the Spanish and also the American occupation. Because during that time, the Spanish and American people, or the colonization of the Spaniards and also the Americans, has totally given us an idea how they become united as one colonization between the Spanish and also the American occupation. And also Islam has concentrated mostly in the South, because here in the Philippines, if you will say Muslim, it is found here in the Mindanao, here in the South. That's why the people always concentrated in the South in our country. And also flourishing of the Islamic arts in our country. Global development, however, exposed the Filipino Muslim to its Middle Eastern roots, who have become their main source of representation of Islam art. Art of Filipino Muslim. Islamic art in the Philippines is found predominantly in Muslim ethnic groups, where every group offers their own distinct flavor of Islamic art. This distinct art is commonly seen in homes, clothing, and places of worship of Filipino Muslim. Mosques in the Philippines have a common architectural features that is similar with its Southeast Asian neighbors. To summarize the first topic of Muslim arts, here we can totally see or to understand all about the art of Filipino Muslim, because the Islamic people has totally predominantly in the Muslim community with the kind of ethnic groups where every group offer their own distinct flavor of Islamic art. That's why they totally have their own unique designs that we can totally see, and also how they worship on their kind of culture that they totally have. And we can totally see that kind of structure, which is the mosque in the Philippines, that have common architectural design or feature that we can totally see in the Southeast Asian neighbors countries in Asian countries in the neighboring countries here in Southeast Asia. The second topic will be continued by Grace Torres, ma'am. And thank you and good morning, ma'am.
So, this is the continuation of Mr. Labampa's report, and I will be explaining about the art of Filipino Muslims. Islamic art in the Philippines is found predominantly in Muslim ethnic groups, where every group offers their own distinct flavor of Islamic art. So, Islamic art can be commonly found in Muslim ethnic groups where they offer their different kinds of Islamic art. Islamic art are commonly found in Muslim homes, clothing, places of worship of Filipino Muslims. Mosque is a place of prayer for Muslims, and mosques in the Philippines have similar feature with the Southeast Asian neighbors. The early types of mosque are made of light materials such as wood, bamboo, and cogon grass, but they did not last long. Today, mosques are structurally patterned that is influenced by Middle Eastern. The one characteristic of Islamic art is that they have no human form. They have this tradition that any figural representation should not be used of worship. Islamic religious art differs from Christian religious art in that it is non-figural, because many Muslims believe that the depiction of the human form is idolatry and thereby a sin against God, and it is forbidden in the Quran. So in Islamic arts, calligraphy is their only use as a form of expression, but it only remains as little as possible. So the only reminders of Filipino Muslim art inside the mosque is a traditional art form known as ochre. So inside the mosque, the traditional art form that can be found is ochre. Ochre art is believed to have been influenced by Chinese and Hindu. Ochre uses geometric and floral artwork. The popular motif of this artwork is using the imagery of a dragon or serpent. The other figural representation in Filipino Islamic art, such as the burak, a winged horse with the head of a woman. So the imagery of burak is related to Prophet Muhammad's ascension to heaven. And there is also other famous creature, the sarimanok, which is a symbol of bravery and nobility. So Philippine Muslim homes represents their identity. Therefore, Islamic art can be seen in their houses. These houses usually contains framed calligraphy of Quran passages in its walls. These are made from countries that are usually dominated by Muslims, such as Malaysia, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia. So these are brought home by OFWs as a remembrance from working or traveling in that country. Clothing reflects the style and colors of their ethnic background. So a design that is related to Muslim that is used in the Philippines is the batik design. This traces the influences from Indonesia. Like ochre art, the batik contains geometric and floral design. However, human and animal depiction is a rare motif in batik. Today, Filipino Muslims believe that following dress requirements shows their Muslim identity. So Filipino Muslims has a belief that following the dress requirements shows their identity as Muslims. But they are influenced by the Middle East and consider the Middle East as a proper Muslim dress. The traditional design can still be found in modern dresses, but the overall design of the modern dresses follows as to how a Muslim dresses globally, which is loose and open due to Western influences.
So, for a long time, Islamic art in the Philippines has been linked to its ethnic background. But globalization has contributed to the changes in the visual expression of Islamic art. From developing an art that is centered in ethnicity, there has been a shift in adoption of forms and styles. House ornaments have been imported from other Muslim countries and outfits. Dresses that was once limited to ethnic background has now been linked to the global Muslim styles referencing the Middle East. And even the reconstruction of mosques are now used sturdier materials that is inspired by modern Islamic design. So, with the continued increased employment and growing number of students going overseas, the Middle East continues to play a significant role in shaping the future of Islamic art in the Philippines. Ochre or Okil. So, it is one of this traditional design that comes from an old Malayan word that has the same derivative meaning, derivative meaning as the Tagalog word ukit, which means to curve. Often, rendered in a hard work and brass depict animals, plants, and mythical figures in highly decorative long curvilinear lines and secondary arabesques. So this is the example of the Maranao and Muslim artwork and Lanao and Sulu art. This is the curve or ukit of left and Vance pattern. So, Middle East art of 18th century by Teodoro Agoncillo. Okil design is found in Maranao ancestral homes. Magindanaon artist A.I. Nizar Ali traced the long history of Okil art from its Hindu roots and India to Islamic Arabia to Muslim Philippines. This style is dialogue between ancient pattern. So, from the Indian influences of the prominent Naga motif and the stylized bird-like motif up to the Islamic art, from wherein introduced the elaborate use of flowing flowers and crawling veins designs and the complex geometric pattern. These influences among the local artisans and the impact of the new patterns give way to evolution and development of now known ochre motif. Okil and contemporary art, a dialogue in abstractions, aims to bring to the fore the very nuances of this traditional design. Maranao. Maranao is a legendary bird of the Maranao people who originate from Mindanao, a major island in the Philippines. Muslim. Turugunon is a symbol of rank and prestige. Manulong, a flaring out from the beams, is the most arresting feature of the Turugon. So this is the example of Turgon and Panulong. This is the example of Mindanao artistry skills in a visual art. This is the Pinta Ochre. And that's all. Thank you.